Coming up next, we take a look at the new Lionel ES44 in the nickel plate scheme. Stay tuned. Good day to all of you. Hope you're having a wonderful day. We're going to take a look at the ES44 here in just a second. As always, I encourage you to read the manual. We'll look at it on the layout. We'll compare it to the versions that came out about 12 years ago. I currently had the Pennsylvania Railroad version and the Conrail version, and now I have the nickel plate version. And we'll take a look at that in just a second. But before we do, I want to thank all of you. We reached 2,000 subscribers, something I never dreamed we would. We're a fairly small channel, and personally, subscriptions don't really mean a lot to me. I just want to make sure I'm putting out some content that people enjoy and people really can connect to. So hopefully I'm doing that, but you know what? Yeah, it's always nice to have the subscribers, so I do appreciate that. I'm glad you're clicking the subscribe button, but more importantly, I'm glad you're watching the videos. I really appreciate that. Now, another thing. Another honor that completely caught me off guard was being nominated for a Lenny Award. Now, there's a lot of other folks in this. There's hobby shops for different things. There's layouts and what have you. But I've been nominated for the best YouTube channel. Now, I'm up with some heavy hitters. Eric of Eric's Trains, Chris from RBP Trains, RJ's Trains, and Norm's Trains. And I don't have any delusions of grandeur, but I am just happy to be in that group of nominees. So I appreciate the nomination, and we'll see where it goes. I'm not exactly getting my hopes real high. Like I said, there's some real heavy hitters in there. I enjoy all those guys' channels, and I can certainly see why they were nominated. So let's go ahead over to the layout, check out the ES44 in the nickel plate scheme. We'll compare it to the previous versions, and then we'll get it running around the layout with the 765 in the lead and the 3 ES44s bringing up the rear. All right, it's the nickel plate road heritage unit 8100 ES44 from Lionel. Now, of course, I'm going to encourage you to check out the manual. They don't put that in there just for fun. Take a look through it. You may not learn anything new, but you may pick up something. So Lionel came out with these first time around, I believe it was about 14 years ago. And I picked up at the time the 8102 Pennsylvania Railroad Heritage Unit and the 8098 Conrail Heritage Unit. I missed out on the nickel plate road unit. Why did I choose these three road names? Well, the 765 also came through Western Pennsylvania about the same time, and it was either followed up by the Pennsylvania Railroad or Conrail units, and going around Horseshoe Curve, the nickel plate road. So I wanted all three of these. They're engines that I've seen in person, and it kind of made me blow off my steam to diesel transition era roll, but we went ahead and picked this up. Now, this came in two versions. You could have got a non-powered unit or a powered unit. Now, I chose the powered unit. I want everything to be powered. And typically, I'm going to run this in a multi-unit behind the 765, along with the Pennsylvania Railroad and Conrail Heritage units. Now, I've already programmed this into my remote and as engine 81. Now, when I did that, of course, with base 3, all the information automatically filled in the remote. When I use the Cab 3 app, the picture comes up, looks great. So, like the previous versions, all the controls are underneath the fan unit. So you pull that away and you have your smoke on and off switch first. You have your 4-digit Bluetooth switch, and then you have your program run switch. Now, the Bluetooth 4-digit switch, if you're going to run in Bluetooth mode, you have to switch it to Bluetooth. If you're going to run it in 4-digit mode, it has to be in 4-digit. But those switches are easily accessible, makes it really nice and easy to change them if you have to. Most of the time, it's set it and forget it. Okay, another thing I wanted to bring to your attention is these have a semi-fixed pilot, which means that this does not travel with the wheel set or the wheels. So Lionel had developed this so it swings out a little bit and then the coupler can complete that swing. Now, folks have been having problems running on ES44. I run on ES72. My problems are probably less likely, but I still run, and the best thing to do is get rolling stock that has a coupler that moves independently from the wheels. And that way, on some of the sharper turns, this can only go so far, and then it's pulling cars that have a fixed coupler off the track, and mainly ES44, like I said. Now, this is rated for ES44, but you're going to want a piece of rolling stock behind this that has a coupler that's not fixed to the trucks, because, again, this only swings so far. And this is the same pilot setup that's on the previous version, so it's really nothing new. I think there's just more rolling stock that does not have the swinging coupler. Now, I would say ES72 and above, you probably don't need it, but I would still advise it, just to give you that little bit of insurance policy. That way you're not derailing the rolling stock that's placed right behind this engine. Okay, instead of dragging the Conrail back here now, I'm going to go through the horns, the bells, the sounds, show you some of the unique features to these kind of engines, and then we'll bring the entire consist of the 765, the Pennsylvania Railroad and Conrail back, and that's where I'll show you the big differences in the mainly the paint. And obviously this has 4-digit addressing, it has Bluetooth where the previous versions did not. But I really want you to see the difference in the paint. To me, it doesn't bother me at all. They're a little glossier than this unit, but it just really does not bother me. Your mileage may vary. So let's go ahead. I'm going to start this up. I'll probably bring down the sound a little bit. Make note of some of the startup sounds. Really cool, really unique. Let's go ahead and fire it up.
This is the Yardmaster. Get her set up and running. Your train will be ready at 17:30. Over. Yes, sir. Start up and stand by. Out.
Now, I brought down the volume a little bit because I wanted to talk about, first of all, one of the other big differences. I think this has a much richer, much bassier sound. The other units, they sound fine until you put it next to this. They just do not have the richness. So that's one big difference. Let's go ahead and go through the horns. I'm going to click this up a sound or a volume. So we have the standard horn. Let me bring up the volume a little bit more. Horn number 2. Horn number 3. Horn number 4. Horn number 5. And back to the original. I would say that's my favorite. Also, the ditch lights will oscillate if it's in motion when you sound the horn. Let's go ahead and listen to the bells. So this is the standard. Bell number 1. Bell number 2. Bell number 3. Bell number 4. And finally, bell number 5. And back to the default. Now, I also think this probably has a little bit more variety of crew talk and tower comm. So let's listen to some of the crew talk here.
Engine to dispatcher. Air's up and crew's on board. We clear? Over. Timers are running on the plant now. You're the next move. Out. Yard office, we are ready to depart. Can we pull? Over. You are clear to proceed. Out.
Okay, we'll do a little tower comm.
On flight now. Let's get going. Gina. Clear by Mount Carlink. Right, Patty? Clear. What are your orders? Says hold here for 2 east and then take the main to the next interlock.
So, a lot of varying sound clips. I really like them. It also has ground lights here, and they'll shut off somewhere around speed step 22. Another feature and functionality of both versions of ES44s, the previous run and this one, if you let it sit at idle, it'll eventually shut down for a while and then start back up on its own. So some really cool features Lionel put in both versions of these ES44s. So now that we've taken a look at it, and I'm going to put pictures at the end of this video so you can take a real good close look at this, why don't we go ahead, back up the 765 and its consist, and we'll connect the 8100. Now, what's going to happen here is I'm going to pull up the passenger cars that we'll be pulling. We're going to be pulling some Union Pacific with this. So when I back up the consist of the Conrail and 765 and Pennsylvania Railroad, I'm going to back it up probably to where the 8100 is sitting. Now what's going to happen is when I back this up, because it's already built into the train, the nickel plate road will back up at the same time. And typically when I build a train, no matter how many engines I put in it, I do not couple them together until I run it as a train without them coupled. This does two things. It verifies to me that all the directions are correct and they're going in the correct direction, and it also verifies that the speed curve is correct. There it goes. It just shut down. So it'll shut down for a while, and it'll start up here eventually. We might be done talking by the time it starts up. Okay, so you can see I connected the passenger cars, or coupled the passenger cars to the rear of the nickel plate. I'm going to go ahead and turn on the block that the 765 is sitting in, and then we'll back them all up. And like I said, what's going to happen here is because the nickel plate's already built into this train, it will go backwards as well. And then once we get the Conrail in view, we'll stop it, we'll bring the 8100 nickel plate up, and we'll couple it, and then we'll take a look at the color difference. There it goes. It started back up on its own. Really cool functionality, really cool feature. So I'm going to go ahead, start up the 765 multi-unit.
This is the dispatcher. Do you copy? Copy that, dispatcher. I read you. Over. Okay, start her up. Stand by for track orders. Understood. We're ready to move.
Now typically when, I'm going to turn this down a little bit. Typically when I build a multi-unit and start out, I hit the reset so I know they're all technically or theoretically in sequence. So I'm going to reverse. Now this, you'll see the nickel plate go out of screen and you'll see the Conrail come in. Now I'm going to bring the nickel plate up on its own. Bring up the volume a little bit. And I'll blow the horn right as it approaches so you can see those ditch lights in action. I'm going to open up the front coupler. There's the ditch lights. Okay. Nice and smooth. Can we do it? I think we did. So now we're all hooked up. I'm going to do a reset again just so everybody's on the same page. Now, while we're here, notice how glossy the Conrail is compared to the nickel plate. That's just the way Lionel did it this time. It looks like I could use some cleaning on the Conrail. But other than that, they're really close in details, functionality, and again, sound. The nickel plate just seems to have a little bit more richness to it. Now, for this run, only the 765 smoke unit is on. All these diesels smoke great. You'll talk to railroad guys, they say shouldn't smoke at all, but we know better. But with 6 motors and, well, with whistle steam, you have 2, 3, 4, 5 smoke units. I'd rather not tax my transformer. So now we're all connected in the train. Reset just one more time, and let's pull them out. I'm going to give a little bit more volume here. Sound the whistle. Here we go. Well, there it is. The nickel plate 8100 ES44 from Lionel. Again, this is the latest release. The Pennsylvania Railroad and Conrail heritage units that were before it were from about 12 or 14 years ago. It's amazing that they all are able to be multi-unit together. They all work really, really well together. They sound great, and they make for a really impressive train. I got to hand it to Lionel. To me, I've never had a legacy multi-unit not work out. So kudos to them for making a 13-year-old engine made up with a brand new engine. And again, the major differences with the nickel plate, you have Bluetooth control, you have 4-digit addressing. Again, I think that the sound's a little richer. But other than that, I really don't think you could tell the difference between the ones that were built 13 years ago and the one I just got. So again, I'll put pictures at the end of the nickel plate. Maybe I'll even throw some into the Conrail and the Pennsylvania Railroad. Just beautiful engine. I'm glad I finally got the last heritage engine I needed to make up what I'm calling a set of the 765. We got the Norfolk and Western ox tender in there. Also, I've seen pulled behind the 765. And of course, the Pennsylvania Railroad, the Conrail, and now the nickel plate Heritage Road ES44s. So let's go ahead and wrap up this video. There it is, the nickel plate Heritage ES44 8100. Absolutely a beautiful engine from Lionel. Again, a little bit different from its predecessors. Again, not so glossy, a little bit richer sound in my opinion. And of course it has 4-digit addressing, it has Bluetooth, updated electronics. But with all that, I'm still able to put it in a multi-unit, run it behind the 765 with the other 2 heritage units. Looks awesome. Again, I'll remind you, take a look at your manual. I know, probably know everything that's in there. Sometimes you don't. Pulling behind us today, we had these Union Pacific dealer appreciation cars. There's actually 10 cars, including the baggage. Now, the set baggage car wasn't on here. I opted for the flag baggage car, but it's a beautiful set. I've had it for about a year. I got it off a friend. Finally got it out, and well, I didn't really have anything else to run behind this. So as you could see, I was almost nose to tail on the layout. Maybe it's time to build a bigger layout, and we'll talk about that in a future video. But until now, I wanted to share this with you, wanted to get it out. I've been running it for a month, about a month behind the 765 with the other heritage units. Been absolutely flawless, and like I said, it's really amazing that some 13-year-old engines can still run with a brand new engine, and really, really a lot of fun to make a big multi-unit, especially when you've seen this in person. Didn't see all 3 heritage units behind it at one time, but now I did. It's my railroad, right? So with that, I hope you liked this video, and if you did, feel free to punch the like button. If you're not a subscriber, we'd love to have you. Again, I want to thank everybody for making it to 2,000 subscribers. We're actually a little bit above that now, and I really, really appreciate that. Not something I strive for. I just want to share my love of model railroading, but, you know, it is a little bit of a boost to me, I got to admit. So more importantly than that, though, hit that bell notification button so you know when I upload new videos. And even more important than any of all that, comment in the comments section. Tell me what you liked about the engine. Tell me what you liked about the video. Tell me what you didn't like. You could either just also comment on the state of the hobby. The comment section is great just to hear what other people are thinking, what other people have, what kind of engines and rolling stock you got. But comments in the comment section to me are a little bit more important than subscribers. Just kind of lets me know what's going on out there. But until next time, I did want to get this nickel plate road video done. I think it's a beautiful engine. Can't beat it behind the 765 with the other Heritage units. Of course, might have to shorten this train up a little bit so it's not so nose to tail, but a lot of fun. York is coming up in a few weeks. I hope to see you there. We're going to do a Base 3 presentation, I believe Friday morning around 9 o'clock. If you want to start your day with a cup of coffee and maybe listen to me drone on for about 45 minutes about Base 3 and Cab 3 app, stop by the veranda building and stop by and say hi, if nothing else, and get out shopping. But anyways, nickel plate, 8100 Heritage unit, now on the layout. Hope you have a great rest of your day. Have a great rest of your week. And, as always, happy railroading.